Yo, what's good people, and welcome back. Now today's video is something we see quite a lot of places, so let's get right into it, shall we, and see what I'm talking about and what I think it could be. So we're heading to a nature reserve not far from where I live, and as we look at the LiDAR of the place, you can see that the big white gap there is where they've conveniently forgot to map out, but let's forget about that one and move on. So there's what looks like a ridge on the LiDAR, and I can confirm it is just that, and I have a bit of footage of that later on. So common theme, it starts just like a normal stroll through the countryside, but it isn't long before you start to see signs of sandstone. And then we are met by this, what I can only describe as a hole, a perfect circle, and a rock and a funnel type thing feeding off of it. A water catcher of some sort perhaps. And then if you look just to the right there, there's another channel carved out of the sandstone as well. And here's a couple more signs of yet more sandstone popping out. So I do want to stress to anybody that goes to these types of places to do so in a safe manner, and also respect these places and try not to cause unnecessary damage to yourselves or to others. Now a vast lump of sandstone sticking out here, and if you look closely you should be able to see the mandatory congregation of earth, soil, whatever you want to call it, and in this case I'd say it's a good 30 feet or so, maybe even more. It does make you think, if this is like all the other places in the area, then what could be hiding under this mud? Now I do feel like a dig or two coming on in the near future. And now this is the back end and the way up, and as you can see yet more earth, and just to give you a bit of perspective on the height. So hopefully in this picture you can sort of make out what I can only describe as some sort of track lines. Hopefully this picture here shows you a little bit better. Now I don't know about you guys, but this makes me question what these track lines were used for. So here's a little step-like feature carved into the sandstone that I used to get up. And now these pictures, I know some of you are going to say tree roots or something like that, but I just don't buy it, unfortunately. Not when you see them in person and you can make out the channels. And now I know there's a lot of people there that will disagree, and that's cool because we can't always agree on everything. But these are just my views. But for me, these are water channels. They've been like intricately designed on the tops of these structures to collect, I don't know, rainwater. So it's just like our gutters nowadays perhaps. And the more you see these places and explore them, the better the picture gets, I feel. And I'm not saying this is fact, it's just my opinion. And again, just some perspective so you can see how high up I am and the sort of scenery that you're faced with when you come to places like this. So that was the end of the first rock there, but there was one more right next to it. And again, there's a lot of earth buried in between the two. Hopefully you can see the channel right in the middle there, again there as well. And here, look at how perfect they are. Is it water collecting? Cables perhaps? Again, yet more channels, and like I say, it's at a few places I've been to, so it certainly isn't a one-off or nothing like that. And hopefully you can make out that bridge there in the background. I will have a little video on that shortly. Yeah, just a couple more just to show you what the top of it looked like. And now I did just mention that it's like this at other places I go to. Well, hopefully you've already seen this video, because this is a previous video of mine, and this is also at a different place as well. So this is 3 different locations I've been to so far, and all 3 of them have like this water channel feature above it. Now this is just a little snippet of the ridge that I mentioned earlier on the LiDAR, but as light was fading fast and I wasn't fully equipped, I decided just to give it a brief look at, but I will be going back uh, with better equipment when it's better lighting and whatnot, just to see if I can find anything else here, because there are the obvious signs, just like the obvious signs everywhere else that we seem to visit these days. So yeah, I'm quite convinced there is something lurking around here in this ridge, and I'm not exaggerating now when I say this, but that cliff there, that ridge line, it's at least 80 feet, maybe even 100 feet higher than where I am. So that kind of hopefully gives you some sort of perspective of what could actually be there. And as you can see, all the trees and just everything else that's surrounding it. But yeah, like I say, I will be going back to this place just to have a little look-see here. Also, please stay tuned, because the legend that is Paul Cook and myself are planning a meetup, which is likely to be in March. But once we have all these details, we'll let you all know, of course. So, Merry Christmas to everybody that celebrates it, and I hope you all have a good one. I've been Nicky B, and until next time.